Yo, what up guys? Today we're playing something a bit different. Gran Turismo 4 on the PC. Yes, this thing works beautifully on PCSX2, and actually it was a game I never really played a lot. I was more of a Need for Speed type of guy, but this is just one of those games that like everybody seems to like and it's very highly regarded, and so I decided to give it a try. And I gotta say, I had a lot of fun with it. And also, I recorded the entire journey. You're gonna see that in a different video, and it's gonna be a pretty long video. But honestly, the most fascinating thing to me is that there is still a very passionate community around this game. Modding it through the emulator and making like retextures, even randomizers for GT4, like that is crazy, bro. And honestly, that is probably the biggest reason that like drove me to try the game for myself. It's just the fact that the community is still alive. There are still people modding it, there are still people playing and making videos about it, and I have seen some randomizer videos. They are pretty fun. I might try it sometime. Unfortunately, I don't consider myself to be that good at the game, and I mean the randomizers do require a bit of skill because, you know, the cards you get are random, and sometimes you might have to work with something that's, you know, maybe less than desirable, just like this freaking R32 stealing the win for 0.015 seconds, bro. But hey, that was a nice race. That was a nice race. But like I said before, I did beat the game. And by beating the game, I mean I completed the beginner and the professional events. That Gran Turismo World Championship, it wasn't easy, but we got it done. But after that, you also unlock the extreme events, which are even more challenges. Some of these races look kinda messed up, bro, like Formula GT. So I don't know if I want to get into this. I mean, maybe for another video. I definitely want to at least try them out. But anyway, the game is gonna start you off at the license center. Or I mean, well, the game isn't gonna start you off anywhere because this game does not hold your hand. The Gran Turismo mode, which is like the career, just takes you into this world map, and you can kinda approach this however you want. You're gonna start with 10k, and you can use those 10k to maybe go into the used car showroom, get a cheap starter, which is probably not gonna be very fast. But you can now enter some races like the Sunday Cup, which doesn't even need any license, and you can just come in here, start driving, start playing, and start making money. Although, you won't be making a lot. The professional events are also available from the start, but with your starter car, you're probably not gonna be doing anything here. I mean, maybe the World Compact. Either way, the beginner events are basically the tutorial section of the game, and they have some pretty interesting challenges here to get you acquainted with different types of cars. The FF challenge, for example, requires a car that is front engine and front wheel drive. Although at this point in the game, you're probably not gonna have a trial Celica, but it's fine. I mean, this car is kinda trash anyway. It does look pretty good though, which is why I bought it in the first place, but then I think I was trying to run the tuner car cup or something, and it didn't really have the performance, so it was kind of disappointing. And yes, I mean, part of that probably has something to do with my driving, but anyway, after that you also have the FR challenge, which requires a front-engined rear-wheel drive car, and if you have any difficulty understanding what that means, here you go, you got filters. But if you're looking for an example of an FR car, you got the Supra! But after that, you got the 4-wheel drive challenge, which is pretty self-explanatory, and the MR challenge, which requires a mid-engine car that's rear-wheel drive, like for example a Toyota MR2, a Honda NSX. You have plenty of options to choose from. There are a lot of cars in this game. Over 721 to be exact. Although, I mean, honestly, over that's not very exact. And what does that even mean? 722? Like, I don't... Anyway, there are a lot of cars, bro. And due to that large amount of options, two different playthroughs can look very different. You have to beat both the beginner and the professional events in order to then unlock the extreme events. So you're going to have to find cars that fit all of these requirements. And honestly, it's pretty fun. Like, it's a lot of fun, man. And speaking of fun, we also got the license center. Some events have a little colored letter on the side, and that means that you need the B license or the International B license. This one requires the International A license, and you get those licenses at the license center, which has a bunch of small challenges, which are pretty hard to be honest, but also pretty addicting. The game is gonna provide you a car for these challenges, and then it's gonna tell you to take 2 turns. And you're gonna be like, sure, I mean, easy enough, right? So you're going to take those 2 turns, not thinking too much of it, you know, the game's probably just starting me off easy, but then you finish it, and you get a bronze. And you're gonna look at it like, alright, I mean, maybe I could have done something better over there, let's try again. And then you do exactly that, you try again. Alright, that was faster, right? I think I took that pretty well. No, it's actually another fucking bronze. Bro, what the fuck? Sure, whatever, look, let's just try something else, right? So you try another challenge in that license, they don't have a specific order, you can do it however you want, and you get another fucking bronze! The silver is 45.3. Like, what the hell does this game want from me, man? And in a way, that is the beauty of GT4, because first things first, you only need bronze to clear the licenses, which isn't that hard to get. But if you wanna get silver or gold, bro, you're gonna be sweating, man, I'm telling ya. You have to get this shit down perfectly. It is the pure definition of easy to get into, very hard to master. And this can become pretty addicting, honestly. Retrying these challenges, mastering the car, mastering the track, until you can go up to a silver and then a gold. Like, it's pretty cool. These challenges are set. They are the way they are. You can't upgrade the car, you can't do anything except drive better. You gotta become faster, gotta be more aggressive with the cornering. You start paying attention to the G-forces applied on the car and how you're transitioning the weight. And when you think you're at the peak of your ability, you finally get a silver. And after that you realize, holy shit, that gold medal is impossible. I mean, I'm sure somebody out there can do it, but it ain't gonna be me. But overall, these challenges are pretty cool and I really enjoy them, except for the lap guide runs. And by the way, that doesn't actually reflect the difficulty of the game, alright? The events are fine, but gold medaling license tests, it's a game by itself. Plus, if you think an event is being a little too hard, you can always go and have a chat with your manufacturer, hit up the tune shop and get some upgrades for your car. For example, this Supra, if I drop a turbine kit stage 4, it goes from 300 horsepower to 632. That is a huge power increase. You can also change the exhaust, get some better brakes, new tires. You can get nitros in the car as well, which I wasn't aware that you could even do this in GT4, but you can. And also some specific cars, like for example the Supra, can get upgraded at the tuner village, where you can find some specific car parts. And you can probably get an original Tom's Turbo, which doesn't provide quite as much horsepower as the Stage 4, but it will increase low RPM torque, which will overall result in a higher average speed. And something else you can do at the Tuner Village is buy modified cars, which look pretty sick. And again, as a Need for Speed fan, I appreciate it. Some tuners like a Muse have a lot of different options, like this S2000 with a wide body, or this completely carbon R34. Other tuners like a Mimia, for example, only have the RX-7, but that looks freaking sick. If you wanna shake things up, you also got some special conditions events. This is where the rally stages are, and you have some in asphalt, but you also got gravel and snow, which will need specific tires, which you can buy at any tune shop. The rally events are always gonna be a duel, you only have one opponent, and the physics are very different, so they can really switch things up. But unfortunately, this is one aspect of the game I can say I just don't like. And I didn't do a whole lot of rallying. I mean, the cars are just super slidey. It feels kind of weird. I don't know, man. I never got the hang of it. And honestly, I don't really care either. I just, like, it's weird, man. Thankfully, there is no restrictions on power, though. So you can just upgrade the hell out of your car and then destroy these events. We also got some driving missions which are actually pretty cool. They're kind of a license test 2.0, but while the license tests teach you how to handle a car, the driving missions teach you how to handle yourself around other cars, and the challenges usually consist on going for some very clean overtakes. And there is a total of 34 missions, and I've heard these can get pretty hard, but they are completely optional, although you do get some cars for completing those missions, much like the American, European and Japanese events, which again, you don't have to do them, but it's more content and they will give you some cars. And also, speaking of cars, a lot of cars have one make races which need specific cars, and they also give you more cars, so you can get cars to get more cars. There is a lot to do in this game, and a lot of cars. Also, by the way, did you know you can change the oil of your car in GT4? I know, I mean, crazy, right? Why? But it's cool. I mean, I don't know any other game that lets you change the oil of your car, but it's kinda nice, honestly, you know. It gets you invested, you know, like you have to maintain the car and stuff. It's nice. It's got its own animation. I don't know, man, I like it. It's really fun. You can also change the wheels of your car, which is very nice. You can drop a massive wing on it if you feel like it, and you can also wash it, which I'm not sure what it does, to be honest, except spin your car around? I don't know, man, don't ask me, but there's a lot of things in this game. Does it make it more shiny? I don't get it, man, but I like it. Also, throughout this video, you have been watching some clips on the background, and if you have never played GT4, then the chase cam probably looked pretty natural to you, because it was, but this is how the chase cam usually is on GT4. It's pretty stiff behind the car, yes, and honestly kinda awkward, but thanks to the brains of very talented individuals, the chase camera can actually now feel a lot better and just flow a lot more with a car. It's a bit more similar to Gran Turismo 3, or at least so I've heard, because I never played Gran Turismo 3, but the camera is just a lot more loose now, it's more natural, it's closer to what you would see in a modern racing game. And speaking of camera, look at this. This is not something you could do in GT4, bro. Turn the camera just around the car like this? Bro, what am I saying, man? These GT4 modders are going hard. And by the way, this is all configurable through text files, both the chase cam and this thing, like how fast you want it to turn. It is crazy, man. Just insane work, really. I have also talked about retextures, which I am using right now, and New York is actually a pretty good place to show you this because of all the billboards. I'm not sure how well this is gonna translate onto YouTube because of the compression, but this is retextured New York. Looks pretty good. This is how New York used to look. It's got the same vibe, but you can definitely tell this looks just a bit more alive. Plus, you have some stuff like the Burnout Revenge sign over there, which definitely did not exist before. But now, because of the they just added it, like, but it looks cool. You got Shrek over there as well. You got a PS5 advertisement over there. I don't know, I definitely feel like it breathes more life into the game. It also touches up a lot of the decals on cars, which become a lot more readable. This thing covers pretty much every single texture in the game. And if you want to know what this mod actually is, it's the Gran Turismo 4 Retexture mod v2.2, and I definitely recommend it. And something I remember very well from back in the day is that this game allowed you to take pictures of your cars. And I'm not sure if this is like the first game ever with a photo mode, but the way this works is extremely weird and convoluted. But hey, it fucking works. You have these buttons down here to move the camera around and stuff. You can look around and you can see what's happening over there on like the map, but it's a very weird photo mode, bro. You can also just grab the car and place it somewhere else. The cars can go on the red sections of the map, and then the cameras can go on the blue sections of the map. So now I gotta rotate the camera towards the car. There you go. Maybe push it back a little bit, something like that. No, maybe something like this, sure. take that picture. And I mean, this was good back in the day. Because again, I really don't remember any other game with a photo mode. And back in 2004, bro, those pictures looked so good. Like, Gran Turismo literally looked like real life. You know, it's one of those games people would say, bro, the graphics ain't getting any better than this. Gran Turismo 4 was making some big moves back in the day. And I mean, now, like, every single modern racing game has a photo mode. But back on the PS2, like, this was kinda crazy, bro. I have very much enjoyed my time with this game, and I definitely understand the praise that it gets. It's really fun. The progression is also very well made. You start off with a beginner event, which lets you try different types of cars. You're presented with some challenges on the license center, the driving missions, and the professional events are gonna put you behind the wheels of some mean machines. But it's extremely progressive and it feels pretty good. Like, you get better as the game gets harder. And because of all of these things, it also provides some nice variation throughout the gameplay, which is very nice. And so yeah, that's kind of my review or showcase of GT4. Look, if you never played it, I highly recommend it, especially if you're into racing games, of course. I mean, this is a simulator. So if you aren't into the whole taking racing lines, braking before corners and stuff like that, the game's probably not gonna be for you. But it's still a very good game that is still getting love from the community. And like I said before I beat the game, I recorded it, so you can expect like a 2-hour long GT4 video in the near future. But that's all from me right now. Hope you liked it. Peace.